Uganda First, a conversation that comes to you wherever you are every Thursday of the week. My name is Andrew Chamagero, and today we're talking about something that is very, intrinsic in a way, and in its nature, it's amorphous. We cannot quench the entire conversation in just one day. And this program is meant to make you understand how you should be patriotic about your country, but not only that, the call to actions that come with it. Today we are discussing social media and the promotion of our national image. Now, social media and promotion of the national image, they go in tandem. And to discuss this and more, with me in studio I have Colonel Nelson Ahewa, the Deputy Chief Political Commissar of UPDF and the Principal Staff Officer at the Patriotism Secretariat Office of the President. And I'm joined today as well by Nantongo Zipora Bagala, the Vice President of Patriotism Clubs of MSMM and the Deputy Guild Speaker at the Mulago School of Nursing and Midwifery. This conversation is actually streaming live on the different platforms. On Twitter, the hashtag is Uganda First, and the same applies to YouTube and Facebook. I'm Andrew Chamagero, and that said, we want to first take a look at the clip of what happened on the ground while we're going around, understanding a couple of things that are going on the ground and who is actually plugging into the patriotism conversation. This show is powered by the National Patriotism Corps Uganda, and not only that, to bring it closer to you and TV partners to make sure that these conversations reach you. Let's have a look at what happened in one of those meetings we went to, and people were patriotic about their country.
Good morning, Patriots. We are doing a service to our country through cleaning the hospital. Thank you so much for choosing this. So at this moment, we are going to set off from here to Stanfield Ward. That is in Old Mulago. That is where we're going to go. We are going to go by foot. We're going to use the hospital walkway and get there.
We're gonna start with dove dusting.
I'm a patriot, I'm a Ugandan, and I feel so good when I'm doing this because that's when I know that I'm contributing something to my country. I love this work, and we often do it whenever we get the opportunity to.
We are doing dump dusting. Dump dusting means cleaning from top to bottom. When we are doing this, we have a reason. First of all, in a simple common sense, cleanliness is next to godliness. Another thing, when we go now in the science part of it, when we are in a clean environment, really we are stopping cross infection. To be a diploma nurse does not mean that I should stop from there. No, I have to serve beyond myself. I have to be in a clean environment. I have to add in an effort to other areas. Cleaners are there cleaning, but I can also support them. Not mean that I'm a diploma nurse, then I'm a boss. No, I should go down like other people. I contribute to the community. Even when I'm doing that, I motivate them to follow me because I'm doing it with experience, with skills, so they will run from me.
One of the roles of patriotism, we ensure clean environment, and that's what we are doing. We are doing it in Mulago Hospital. We are trying to ensure Mulago Hospital is clean. And when the hospital is clean, we limit the spread of infections. Cleanliness limits infection spread. So it is one of the roles. And then in addition, being a nurse, I'm a practicing nurse, and at the same time a student. It is one of our roles to do the cleaning. However much there are cleaners in the hospital, but we also implement, we also emphasize. And for emphasis, they should see us cleaning. When you work in a clean environment, even we limit infection spread. That's what we are doing here as members of Patriotism Club of Mulago School of Nursing and Medicine.
We have benefited a lot from the patriotism training because students are able to clean for themselves. That is in the hostel side and in the communities around, as you can see us doing the community work, community participation and involvement. And we help educate people how to embrace hygiene, cleaning, because we know and we believe that prevention is always better than cure. When they leave these wards, they can know how to clean at home because we demonstrate how we can clean the floor, how we can clean the ventilators, how we can remove dusts, which can help us to prevent all these respiratory and other diseases which arise from the dirtiness that is always around where we stay. At the same time, we appreciate the National Secretariat of Patriotism Corps under the Office of the President for embracing these programs because they have reformed students and we appreciate their efforts in mindset change. And if they can continue, we know we shall have a positive citizenship, at the same time transformation in all the health activities we do to promote quality health.
Patriots,
I love Uganda.
I serve Uganda. I sacrifice for Uganda. I'm loyal to Uganda. I love myself. So this has been the first episode of A Clean Uganda Starts With Me, to be continued. And please spread the gospel of cleaning Uganda. I know we shall get there. If we join hands as patriots, we shall get there.
Well, that is what happened that is at Mulago School of Nursing and Midwifery, and this conversation is actually streaming live on our digital platforms. On Twitter, it's NTV Uganda, and on Facebook, it's still NTV Uganda, and on YouTube, look for NTV Uganda. The hashtag is Uganda First. There is a WhatsApp number on your screen. If you have any feedback, you'll actually give it to us. Good to see you, Afande.
Thank you.
And good to see you, Zipporah.
Yeah, my
so
pleasure.
Let's talk about what you saw, the entire change at the School of Nursing. Before the patriotism conversations came to you,
Yes.
what was the situation like among your peers?
Oh, personally, before I joined the School of Nursing, I was a normal civilian.
Okay.
But I was so passionate about putting my country to another level.
Okay.
And I believe that I can make things happen. I always say change is singular. It starts with me. It is not in plural. Victory most of the times is in plural. But struggle is in singular.
Yeah.
That is the fact. So getting this platform, Patriotism, it was, God was answering my prayer. So I had to look for all avenues.
To have this.
To have this. As you've seen, we look for avenues of becoming better people. As we said previously, that A Clean Uganda starts with me, I should say. So anything in Uganda, if you want it better, it is singular. So preach the gospel. I already say we have a target of at least one change. If one person is changed, it is a success.
Nice.
Yes.
I find that when you hear these kind of conversations from the agents of change, like Zipporah here, leading the other teams on the other side of the world, what does it mean to the Patriotism Corps? Are you achieving, are you getting there? Because the model was with the institutional model, and you went into it, and here we are. People like Zipporah, as young as they are, they already have the conversation, and they seem to understand the narrative.
Thank you, first of all, Andrew, for this program, and the entire NTV for putting such a program ahead, because who will promote Uganda if not us?
It is me. It's us, yes.
So it is very, very happy, a big pleasure for me to see the young generation coming up to own the narrative that within our mindset, a clean Uganda begins with me. A happy Uganda begins with me.
Yes.
A secure Uganda begins with me. And that's how you build an image of a country that you are proud of. So I am happy for that.
We are achieving as a COP?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Zipporah,
Yes.
before the Patriotism COP came through,
Yes.
in your community, much as change is singular,
Yes.
what did you see among your peers? What were the attitudes like?
Oh, my peers, young as we are, most of them have a negative perspective.
Did they
view
give the reasons
of
for?
things? They rarely have reasons because most as peer is always in group. Yeah, it's always in group. So they have groups that they have a common thinking.
Toinacho tugamba.
Toinacho tugamba, the stuff. So sometimes if you really go to ground and ask one-on-one, what is the problem? And you think they can answer? They have common issues which they think someone else should attend to them, not them. Yes,
so they send the blame to the others.
To the others.
Okay.
They think someone else should come and do this. Don't living room to think that I can do something.
Yeah.
Yes, we always say in Luganda, mumpi wako mawakwata.
Yes.
So as short as you are, try to stretch your hand somewhere. So most of their perspective view of things, they don't think they can do something.
Yes.
Yes.
And when you audit that kind of behavior, is it something to do with their background? Do they feel that things are not working? The ones you talk to one-on-one,
Yes.
where was the pain point that I think things are not working? Because these are nonsense. Regardless of them paying allegiance to the Hippocratic Oath, they're going to meet Ugandans and they're going to service them. And the sector where they are, in the recent past, it has been deemed with corruption. Kitu kidogo. If you want a service, you're going to give me the money. Is it something from the back end that is actually triggering these negative energies?
To a large extent, I should be open. Background is part and partial of it. It's easier to do something you've seen before.
Yeah.
And we have challenges down there. I feel, as we say, that it's only one rotten tomato that is needed to spoil the whole basket.
The entire basket, yes.
So I can't say how many they are, the people spearheading the Chintu Chidogo stuff, but people in authority, not authority, yes, people who have been there before us, there are some of them, I'm talking about the background, they have set a very bad example. I'm not talking about someone who is doing good. I believe a Ugandan is struggling to do right.
Yeah.
So in my peers, in my age mates, in my fellow students, you find that on interaction of one-on-one, you find that now since we are students, we have seniors above us.
Yeah.
So you find that you see someone doing something wrong. So as a senior, so I beg your pardon, as a junior, you're limited on authority
to check it. That what you're doing is wrong.
Is wrong.
Okay.
But we try. You try.
So having gone through this course of patriotism, do you now have the confidence to stand tall and say wrong is wrong?
I do. I should say without fear or favor. I do. This training is beneficial than we think. I remember one time we were interacting with Madame Bananuka Beatrice. She told us, apart from the Bible, the other book you should read every day is the Constitution of Uganda. So we should be in the know of the law. That yes, you're doing this. What does the law say? So if she has taught us, of course through this training, that the Constitution of Uganda is a must read
for every
Ugandan.
Day.
So me, young as I am, if I'm in the know of the law, I can reason you out. Yes, at least you I don't know whether you will be able to challenge me if I have the Constitution with me, but I believe you'll have it. The point will be home.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Afande, when you hear conversations of confidence. The reason we're having here, we're talking about social media. And you've seen Ugandans on Twitter, Ugandans on Facebook. At times we have our wars. I don't know whether you people know in the military. There are times when Ugandans are fighting Kenyans. There are times when Kenyans are fighting South Africans. There are times when Ugandans are fighting Namibians. Now, all these at times, I perceive it as Ugandans protecting their own. We're patriotic at times. But what do you make of the social media? When you look at the social media and the image you're painting to the rest of the world?
Yes, thank you. First of all, the media as a whole is like a channel through which messages can be transmitted from people to people, from an individual to an individual, or from even an individual to many other individuals.
Yeah.
So before even the advent of what we call now the social media, there was the media.
Mainstream media.
Mainstream media.
Yes.
And therefore people have been used to this kind of exchange of information, whether it is positive or negative, but there has been that
channel
mechanism. When it comes to the social media, you know, it becomes much more easier because of the fastness of the interconnectedness of the internet.
Yeah.
The coming in of internet makes it so easy and makes it more private for you to send out information rapidly, easily, and cheaply. So that is the incentive that I think brings the social media as the first choice when it comes to sharing information. Now when it comes, what is this information?
What are we sharing?
What are we sharing? That is where the debate is.
Yes.
The freedom to share in some societies is a right embedded in the laws of the constitution, like here in Uganda, the freedom to express
access to information and
then access
dissemination,
yes. and then dissemination. But you have seen people, as you have said, people killing each other on social media, using social media. This is what you can do in your bathroom, in your comfort of your sitting room, in a taxi while you're traveling. You are exchanging information and not limited to boundaries of countries. So it does much more impact than the previous mainstream media. The core now that we would want really to sound out is responsible use of the social media.
Okay.
You have seen, I don't know whether NTV has been a victim. You have seen
proxy accounts.
Yes, proxy accounts.
Yes, sure.
Announcing somebody dead when somebody is still alive.
And you have to come out and say that's a fake page.
It goes against the ethics of humanity across societies. And I think our says in Uganda, in some languages, our churches, you tell somebody that has died when he has not died.
Yes.
Social media gives that leverage to do it freely, and it exposes your moral height in terms of that. So what we would call be patriotic, what does it mean to be patriotic? Use that social media to pronounce something that you know is good for others.
But you see, Kano, there's some times when there are some bad things that have been done by the state agents and parastatals. And you've tried to raise your hand and no one is seeing. And you come on social media and you say, you know what? This is happening in this particular entity. And maybe they will actually respond because now they see that it's on the global scale. So where do we draw the line where we're going to promote the country and stand tall and say wrong is wrong, and we stand by that?
I think it refers to what I have already shared, using the media to point out what the media has a role to play in pointing out what is right, what is wrong, and it's a fourth estate. So the state appreciates the role of the media in nation building. You know that very well. So when it comes to what I'm talking about as irresponsible use of social media, it's like the low level of civic competence among the population. For example, a traffic accident has happened. Instead of helping people
You go live.
Gets a smartphone, takes pictures or videos,
and posts.
Immediately post them on Twitter, on any other social media channel.
Not helping a life
What
person.
has it helped the person who is suffering? The nurse is here, the victim, what they need is help. What has it helped the relatives? And about other innocent people who are seeing those unnecessary pictures? That is what I am referring to, the use of social media irresponsibly. Talk about even, you can send a message without thinking its impact in the long run. You are a student, for example, and everything for you, you see, is negative about your country.
And that's what you
post out. There is that common Uganda Zabu. If you know that it's used to mean something negative, I think so.
At times they do it for the wrong reason.
But if you do it for the wrong reason, what is Zabu? Zabu is
gold.
It's gold. So if you see a pothole in a road,
Uganda Zabu.
Uganda Zabu. What is that narrative? That is what I'm talking about. Misuse of the social media to decampaign your own country. And your country, by the way, is far, far, far much different from your political opinion.
That's true.
Because if you are not in agreement, let's say, with a party that is in power, which is your right. But you should know that a country is above all of you. If you demonize your country, the world outside will use what you are posting out there
against the
to
country.
Make decisions of not coming in form of tourists, of not coming in form of investors, of not coming in form of students for studies here.
And
it is affecting many businesses, including yours, indirectly.
Over time.
Yes.
Well, Zipro, have you seen some hashtags on Twitter that disturbed you from where you are? There was one that was actually trending that was called Uganda is bleeding. There was another one, we are removing a dictator. There was Kunga. Those hashtags, you've seen them, a couple of them.
I've seen them.
And they seem to trend more than any other kind of hashtags that are. From your sense as a nurse, when you see this, as a patriotic kind of a student of medicine, what comes in your mind? Does this worry you?
Social media can be life or death. I mean, it can build or destroy. So when I see those hashtags, the fact is most of them are destructive. That is the fact. And there is something that is trending these days, something called Tambuza Posti. So
Tambuza video.
Yes. So the Tambuza Post thing, I don't know which post are you trying to move around. As we look at Uganda bleeding, as name
the hashtags,
how is it beneficial? First ask yourself. You know, patriotism, that word is sometimes, it's big for some people. Let's talk about being deeply attached to your country. I always say it's always good to act like the owner. Not acting, I always say act like, because some of us are not really doing what we're supposed to do. We own Uganda because we are Ugandans. So as a Ugandan, under which motive do you stand and say Uganda is bleeding?
You put pictures out there.
You put pictures out there. Yes, it is something is not in order, but you believe me that at particular levels, you be ahead of a particular thing. So when things are not in order, what do you do? I always ask my fellows, yes, you think you are young, but do you think you're going to be young forever? So when you're old, you're a mother, you're the head, you're the SPN, or you're the sister in charge of a particular ward, things are not in order. What are you going to do? Because it is taming, it's a process, it's not an event. Yes, as you're publicizing something that is not in order, yes,
someday you'll be on the other side.
On the other side, you're going to be the head of that thing. Are you going to post that Abanage have really failed to handle my family?
No, you won't.
So when I see those hashtags, I think we can handle it in a different way. In a different way. Yes, the hashtags are moving on. Uganda is bleeding, name it ABCD. But as Ugandans, as someone who is deeply attached to your country, Tell me, on which grounds are you going to start publicizing the wrong? Publicizing what is not in order. So those hashtags, they may be good, but it is okay for someone who is not a Ugandan to do such.
But not a Ugandan.
But not me. Not you who is a Ugandan.
And then this brings me to another question, Zipra.
Yes.
Do we as young people care about a digital footprint? Do we even ever think of, because Afanda Hewa here alluded that what you post today will affect you later.
Exactly.
Because of the digital footprint. You've been saying Uganda is bad, Uganda is bad. And all of a sudden, there is a job and they have announced it and you post.
Yes.
What Afanda is not telling us is that of late they're using social media to gauge what kind of person we're getting in here. As a generation, are we sensitive about the digital footprint?
The digital footprint, to mention but a few, the fact is we need to invest time in this thing.
Invest time in what?
Invest time in, before posting what we are posting as the youth, as the young generation, if you're to think about what we are leaving behind as in media. So the digital footprint, we have to first think about, we've heard about the vision. If you have a vision, which footprint are we leaving
for that vision?
For that vision. Yes, I don't know whether there is a youth out there who wants to leave a footprint behind. So if you are there, invest time and think about how best you can leave a digital footprint.
Afand, this brings me back to you again, because you hinted about it and it hit me so hard that something that you posted 7-10 years ago, it comes back to haunt you after 15 years. The entity you are attacking, that it was inefficient, it was inadequate with regards to execution, it's now the entity where you've applied for a job or something of this, or your child is one of those actually that are there. Are we sensitive about this when we're using social media?
And that very word you have used, sensitive, because the truth can be the truth.
Yeah.
But how do you respond by putting it across? To who? And which language are you going to use?
Yeah.
I'm going to use some hard example. It's a fact that you can have your mother and you find that your eye has caught your mother seated badly.
Yeah.
Do you get a camera and point it there and post that into the social media?
That's your mother.
Do you go running around the village telling everybody that I saw my mother seated badly?
No.
There is where it comes. It is the truth that something may not be going bad, may not be going well. But how are you going to share it to cause a positive change? You can run around and disrupt her to sit well. You can send your big sister to tell her. If you are close, you can see a better way of causing the positive change that you want.
You want to see.
For her, it is good. For you, it is good. Therefore, if I see, like I'm a taxi driver from the airport, I see a visitor coming to Uganda, and I'm driving from the airport to Kampala. The conversation we engage in, I am already telling how Uganda is bad. I'm already saying these roads are narrow. I'm already saying there are many thieves around here.
Be careful with your phone.
They grab your phone. There are things which you may, as a Ugandan, you know, even if I share them out, they are not going to help me now.
Yeah.
Actually, they are going to do more harm than bad.
To me, yes.
Countries that we so admire that are more patriotic and advancing, I'll use an example of Ethiopia. You drive, these taxi drivers, some of them, here we call it special hire.
Yes.
They don't know much English, but they are trying to tell you everything good about their country.
Especially about their coffee.
About the coffee, about the athletics.
Yes.
That's building for athletics. Then they don't take you through roads which have potholes.
Oh, yeah.
They will never take you
That's
through a street which is filthy.
That is congested.
That is congested, that is filthy. That is the highest level of patriotism we are talking about.
Wow.
Here, you will be demonizing Uganda.
I'll take you through
thinking we are doing something as open, but we have to be conscious.
Yes.
Using the word you have said, sensitive, the way we transmit, even if it is the truth.
Yeah.
Do you think in other countries they don't have problems?
They actually do.
Why don't we see them in the social media like the way we see it here?
Okay.
Thank you.
That makes a lot of sense. We're taking a break. The number will be on your screen. Give us your feedback on how best are we using social media with regards to the image we're painting to the outside world about a country. Are you patriotic enough? The question is, in the last quarter of the year, what have you posted positive about your country? We'll take a break and return shortly. Uganda First, a conversation about patriotism. I'm Andrew Chamagero, Mundwawansi, and the conversation seems to be more about us, our generation with social media. So we're going to have a couple of feedback. Let me have some feedback here. This one says, hello NTV, all about Uganda First is very good and nice, but sometimes we're let down by our own leaders like Matia Kasaija and the Attorney General Chiwanuka, who are defending agreements like the one of coffee. Yet it's bad in law. Very absurd. Friday Davis, this one says, plus can a patriotism cop conduct an arrest? They will respond to that. Good morning NTV. What does a good Ugandan begin in Kampala? Why does a good Uganda begin in Kampala? They should start in rural areas. That is where a mindset change should be emphasized. Kampala is part of Uganda though. This one says, thanks for the program. But Andrew, please, teach us how one can love Uganda when things are happening this way. Moreover, from our leaders, all these controversial deals, for instance, the corruption that HE, the president, talks about every day, the fake things on the market when we have people that are supposed to keep an eye but can't because of corruption. This keeps our spirits really low and we can't see any future. I just think you can teach patriotism, but just let things flow the right way. People will love their country if you are a parent in the family. You don't teach your children to love you. They will automatically do it if you are a good example parent. Thank you so much. Muliatha Felix from Kasese, thanks for the program. Thank you so much. This one says all about Uganda First is very good and nice, but sometimes, okay. Let's respond to some of this feedback, Afande. I'll start off with the very last one. Someone says that you cannot nurture someone to love the country. If you're a good parent, your children will automatically love you. And he tagged this to the corruption and the inconsistencies from the system with regards to service delivery also.
Yeah, you have seen, probably have seen this comment from many circles.
It keeps coming every show. Every show it keeps coming.
It keeps coming.
Yes.
Because that one shows you that leadership by example is the best way of communicating what you want to be as change. But also you have seen people responding that yes, you can teach love. You can teach love.
The same way you can teach hate.
You can teach hate. Yes. You can teach somebody to hate others. Therefore, you can teach somebody to love others and actually love themselves. So the fact that you can't teach love of your country, I think, is not scientifically backed because the child is born and associates this person who gives her or him the breast and calls her and gives, that is love. And finally they love that person who keeps calling them baby, baby come, baby come, gives them good food, good, that is how you teach love through example. But if, for example, you are a Christian or a Muslim and your religious leader has committed something bad, will you stop going to church or to mosque because of that leader? Me, I think, I regard you can be the person doing the right, irrespective of what your other people are doing. Okay. Whether they are in leadership or not, and what they are doing you think is not correct. You should not be discouraged to do what is good because of what they did. They are individuals. They are in a position that tomorrow you'll also be in the same position. So I think it should not discourage our fellow Ugandans, especially the youth, who are using it in most cases as an excuse of not being patriotic because the leaders are not patriotic.
Yeah.
And that is on the scale, as she can testify. In these patriotism programs, we introduce modules on critical thinking, critical analysis,
logic,
information, disinformation, so that if somebody says Ugandan leaders, all of them are bad, what examples are you giving out of 10? Then you make your own logical analysis to know, I think there are many Ugandans leaders who are doing the right thing, much as we have others who may not be measuring up.
I do agree. There was one that said that, can a patriot cop arrest?
Oh.
You know, they have seen them in the military fatigue, in the green fatigue.
Yes.
And we have had that conversation here where someone's saying that you guys are militarizing the people, you're militarizing the institution. Now that they have seen them in a green kind of fatigue, they think a patriotism cop like Zipporah here can arrest me.
Well, thank you for asking that. It's a very noble question. The right to arrest somebody who is suspected of doing something against that is not within the law is a right of every Ugandan citizen. Chamagero, you can arrest me and hand me over
to the powers
to the law
that be.
enforcement, especially the police. Therefore, whether you are in the uniform of patriotism or you are in your civilian clothes, you have the powers to arrest somebody and you deliver them to the police.
To the enforcers.
Yes.
That makes sense. Zipporah, you wanted to respond to someone. Someone said, and I wanted to put this to you particularly, someone said that you, with all that is going on, they would love so much their country, but things don't seem to be what they would wish to be. They tag this to corruption. How unique are your lenses to this?
Yes, tagging it to corruption, we have that problem these days. But as I said, unfortunately, I don't remember his or her name. But friend, let me tell you this, that change starts with you. And these days, the youth call corruption connections. Yes. So you may think you're not corrupt.
But you want the connection.
But you want the connection. Yes, you're saying you're not corrupt, but you want, I would like you, Mr. Chamagero, maybe, to help me get somewhere. How do we term that? Connections. Yes, connection. So friend, yes, all is not well with corruption, with many things. But how best can we handle that? It is you and me. It is you to stand on your legs, on your feet, as Colonel Aheb was said, that every Ugandan has a right to arrest. As you have a right to arrest, you have a right to talk about what is not right, something to do with corruption. So friend, I'm counting on you. I'm counting on that Ugandan down there to fight corruption. Personally, I'm not counting on big offices. I'm counting on you on ground as an individual. So things to do with corruption, friend, I'm counting on you for change. Yes.
Okay. The couple of Ugandans have been doing remarkable digital conversations about Uganda without any payment. They just love their country. Let's have a look at this clip of Ugandans who are promoting the country with a different hashtag, Visit Uganda. Ugandans have been the best context though. And let's just look at them and then we'll return shortly.
Hi, my name is Eunice and I am a Ugandan travel vlogger. I basically sell my country not just to Ugandans but to also people that are watching us from the international community through posting travel vlogs on YouTube. I was inspired by the love of my country and Adoras looked for a way to put out the beauty that we have right here in Uganda through posting travel vlogs on my YouTube channel. That's something that I came up with after searching for a very long time because I've always loved to sell the beauty that we have in Uganda. I was motivated by the love, first of all, for my country, and secondly because I've always wanted to be on TV, and I always asked myself, if I got to TV, what is that one thing I would want to put out there? And for me that was the content. But since that also didn't happen, I chose to start my own TV, and that is starting up my YouTube channel and putting out the content. To the youth out there, I know you're more interested in putting out other things. different content, you know, showing your body, showing all kinds of content. But how about with that, you start putting out something that could sell a country? Because I, for one, believe that if we put much more effort in tourism, I believe it is something that can even work for us more than agriculture already is. So, but before we get to what the government can do towards tourism, how about we as individuals start with what we have? I mean, you don't even have to travel to maybe a national park or to a safari lodge for you to have content to put out there. How about the surrounding areas? People who live in Kampala, we have mosques, we have, you know, all those other different things that are close to us that you can just, you know, put out there. At the end of the day, if tourism works, we all are to benefit from that. As you watch this video, you can even go to Google and Google Uganda and see the first images that are going to pop up. Clearly, those are not the best images that not even just Ugandans, but also the other people, our fellow Africans, would love their country to be associated with. So how about we change the narrative and put out stuff that we want other people, when they search for Uganda, those are things they want to see. I mean, we have beautiful lakes, we have rivers, we have safari lodges, we have national parks. How about that's the content that we front, so that every time someone looks for Uganda, that is what they see and not some gruesome pictures.
Whenever I go to a location, I take pictures, I take very nice videos and post on my social media platforms. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, so that people know where I am and they get inspired. How they can also be part of that experience. So I explain to them, I even give them contacts of the people who work in those areas. Maybe the source of the Nile, if I visited Soko Fall, Tororo Mountain, if I've gone to the west, I've visited the Semiliki Falls, I've visited Maberega Jamwiru, Chivale National Park, name it, wherever I've gone, Queen Elizabeth National Park, those crater lakes, and I share those photos and videos. Guys get so much inspired. We use social media shares, what we call social shares, where if you visit a place, you share and then you put a hashtag so that friends and family and other people who follow you can see what you're about and then they follow. My advice to UTB, they've done a good job. First, they have to open up valuable information platform. That is the website. Explore Uganda, visit Uganda page is very helpful. They should just add more power in it. Whenever visitors go to a place, let them take pictures, you log them in of those historical sites, cultural sites, of those nice and beautiful sceneries, so that they are out there and people know it. That helps a lot to sell the less known tourism attractions like clubs. People don't know that clubs are a great attraction. Restaurants, the food industry, hospitality is very big in terms of what? Attracting visitors to come in this country. You don't need to have visited a tourism attraction to be doing this. You visit a new place, you see you eat at a new restaurant, just take a picture and then post it online, and your friends will see it and they will be amused by the views of the place, and they will ask you, hey, where is this restaurant, where is this place? Then they will visit. Where is this club? It seems that it's a nice place. Then they will visit that place. So that helps a lot in terms of what? Increasing the visibility of the tourism industry in this country.
I do travel vlogs because I'm able to share information with people that have not yet traveled, with people that have not yet been to these places. And when I share this information, people feel more comfortable going to the places because they know how much they'll pay, they know how to travel to the places, they know what the place looks like. It's kind of like giving them an insight into the entire experience before they get going to the places. So I do this so that I share the information online for people that would want to go there and make it a bit easy for people to be able to travel around the country. What motivates me is the feedback that I keep getting and the people that have encouraged to travel even when they will not travel. The people that have left many other countries and came to Uganda because they saw a video, or the people that have come to Uganda from other countries and did an activity or traveled to a place that I recommended or they watched on my channel first. I feel like that motivates me and keeps me going. I would encourage people that travel to share their content online. You might not have a huge platform like YouTube, a huge following on Instagram, but you could share with your friends, you could share on your WhatsApp status, especially the details. You can start as small as sharing it on your WhatsApp status, giving people the details, or feeling free with the information when people ask. When people ask you, you could like share the information with them generously, and I think that will help promote tourism around the country.
I'm from Pakistan. I've been to 16 countries, but believe me, I've fallen in love with Uganda. The first time I came to Uganda was 2018, and it was just a 5-day visit, like a week visit, but I ended up staying in 3 months. That's how amazing I would say Uganda and Ugandans are. Since 2018, I started promoting Uganda through my videos because I wanted people to feel the love that I've felt through my YouTube, through Instagram, through Facebook. I've been trying to tell people out there that you should visit Uganda. It's the Pearl of Africa. People call it the Pearl of Africa, and believe me, there's no doubt about it that it's the Pearl of Africa. Source of Nile, you'll find it in Uganda. All those beautiful gorillas, you'll find them in Uganda. Every amazing scenery and art, definitely, if you're looking for it, you need to come to Uganda. I mean, there's so many things to talk about. Food, awesome. Weather, awesome. Amazing people. If you don't fall in love with this country, there's something wrong with you, but not with these people. I would also request people of Uganda, and also the government, everybody, whoever has a social media account, rather be TikTok, it could be YouTube, it could be Facebook, it could be Instagram, Twitter, every social media handle that you have, you need to, if you're in Uganda and if you're Ugandan, you need to promote and tell people how beautiful Uganda is and how good Ugandans are. Webale Neo and Kwagala Neo to all of my Ugandans.
Thank you, Karim. Karim makes a statement that if you don't love this country, there is something wrong with you. And this is someone from the Middle East. What do you make of that, Afandi?
I think the point is open. If you do not fall in love with the country, then there is something wrong with you. The country is people, the country are physical features, the country are the systems, the country is bigger. I really agree with him. There is so much more, even on the socio-economic transformation arena alone, leave alone the national parks and the mountains and the physical attractions. If you look at Uganda in the lenses of the land of opportunities, you will begin to see many opportunities. But if you lock yourself into seeing Uganda as a bleeding country, then you will see always something that is seemingly bleeding. I would like to call upon fellow countrymen, especially the youth, to look at Uganda as a land of opportunities and single them out day by day. If foreigners come here and they see them and actually seize them,
what's wrong with us?
Then what's wrong with us? If, for example, now, can you, everybody eats every day. Yeah. Even if you see the food you eat today is different from the food you eat tomorrow, that alone forms a sum of information. Social media is a source of information on which tourists base to come, on which investors base to come. So over time, what we post there will inform some decisions somewhere that will impact positively on your country.
On our country. Yes. Talking about food, when I was in Kenya during my studies, when they said that we have a Ugandan part of the team, they said, oh, do we have enough food? And I asked them why. They said, because you guys eat a lot of food. You have matoke, you have Irish, you have nsuju, you have greens, and you have a monster glass of juice. And I'm like, because you can afford them. Because for them it is ugali and sukuma, and that's it. And they're gone, they're done and moving. Coming back to you, Zipporah, while you're finalizing this conversation, how best can we as Ugandans, especially our generation, how can we leverage on social media as a tool to be more patriotic?
Yes. To be devoted to your country as the youth, we need to put a milestone on Uganda. Friends, you know I support soccer.
You support Arsenal, right?
No, come on. No, I'll never walk alone.
Okay,
that is
you're Liverpool, yes.
So during a match, if maybe Man U is given one goal, immediately you will get a meme. That so and so has done this. So I'm urging my fellows as we the same speed we put in soccer. Creating memes about soccer, about who has bleached, about who has done this. So let's put in the same speed in spreading the gospel of the beauty of Uganda. Let's put in the very speed that we're putting in to produce those memes, those videos, to crop them, to do the Photoshop, stop, do it as speedy as you can. Put in, let's have the same spirit. Yes, we have the spirit. We've seen the spirit in doing bad.
Yes,
so
it is active.
The spirit is very active.
Yes.
So let's put in the same spirit, the very prescription of spirit in doing good, in showing that Uganda is the pearl of Africa.
Wow.
We can do this.
I hear you. Afande.
Yes.
What's the call to action you give to Ugandans as we're wrapping up this conversation, especially on digital lens?
How I would wish all of you in the media, especially in the social media, to create a hashtag, Uganda, the land of opportunities. And the debate rages on, what are these opportunities? How can we take advantage of these opportunities? You will be amazed on the discovery of what lies in the social, in the economic, in the political spheres. Look at these simple examples. Why is it that we have many students from other African countries coming to Uganda for education? At almost all the levels, primary, secondary, university, name it. I think you know you have many non-Ugandans. Why is it that you have many tourists? We do not have a sea like Tanzania and Kenya, the white sand beaches. Why is it that we sometimes have more tourists coming to a landlocked deep country in Uganda than other countries within the hinterland? 3, if you look at the refugees, why is it that we find more refugees coming into Africa, into Uganda, than other African countries? The law of attraction is a positive one. Why is it that we attract many people to come here? It means that we have many good things that we need to promote. Therefore, the image of Uganda, in the lenses of Ugandans, should be actually to show that one which is positive, and also to indicate how we can overcome that one which we think is not yet good there.
Wow.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. That is a conversation we have had today. I really want to thank all of you who have been a part of this conversation. Every Thursday, we shall be talking about Uganda First. And one thing for sure, we all have a duty. It's not about me, it's not about you, it's about us collectively, but the action starts with you. This program was powered by the National Patriotism Secretariat Corps Uganda, and not forgetting that the other role is come back to you. Whatever you want to change in your community starts with you. Be the first person to activate the change you want to see. Today with me in studios, I had Colonel Elton Ahewa, the Deputy Chief Political Commissar of the UPDF and the Principal Staff Officer at the Patriotism Secretariat Office of the President. And we had Nantongo Ziporabagala, the Vice President, Patriotism Club of the Mulago School of Nursing and Midwifery, as well as the Deputy Guild Speaker. Now, winding this show, I want to put it to you, my fellow Ugandan. Before you tweet, before you put out a post of things that are not going right, ask yourself, how many are going right? Can we amplify the ones that are going right? And the wrongs, we still speak about them, but we must speak about them with solutions. I'm Andrew Chamagero. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Andrew.